Today is Friday, November 14, 2025. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings, an Advocate edition on rest. Our text is Deuteronomy 15, verse 1 and 4 through 5. At the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts. There need be no poor people among you, for in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess as your inheritance, he will richly bless you, if only you fully obey the Lord your God and are careful to follow all these commands I am giving you today. Old Testament laws are not always easily applied to us because they concern Israel as a nation state. These laws about the Sabbath year, when debts are canceled and land is returned to the families it was originally given to, are such instructions. We live in a very different context and economy. However, we should not pass them by too quickly. Our economy is largely rooted in the principles of scarcity. We are all in competition for limited resources. But that is not the way it was meant to be. The creation was able to provide for its creatures. The land Israel received as a gift from God was able to provide sufficient resources for each Israelite. There need be no poor people among you. This is rooted in a deep belief that God would provide. Sabbath was, at least in part, a space of deep joy and celebration for Israel because life was secure in their covenant land. As such, this weekly rest from work offered room for generosity to bloom in the hearts of God's people. If God provided, then his people could provide for those who had less. Israel was to be a nation of generosity, just like the God who had freed them. This generosity is a quality that grows in those who follow Jesus. Luke's description of the early church includes this. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Acts 2:44-45. And 2 chapters later, this is added. All the believers were one in heart and mind. No one claimed that any of their possessions was their own, but they shared everything they had. Chapter 4, verse 32. Those who take time for Sabbath, who learn to rely on God, find themselves growing in generosity. The authors of the Heidelberg Catechism understood this. They teach that, especially on the festive day of rest, I regularly attend the assembly of God's people to, among other things, bring Christian offerings for the poor. Answer 103. Israel's generosity was rooted in her memory of slavery from which God redeemed her. In the same way, God's indescribable gift is the source of our generosity. 2 Corinthians 9:15. In an economy of scarcity, generosity is foolish. For those who rest as an act of faith in the God who provides, there is space for generosity to take root. Sabbath keeping is a pause that refreshes us and can transform society. As you journey on, hear Jesus' invitation. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls.